Hello guys and welcome back to Scope on Wada. We're changing up a little bit here.
Jeez.
We have with us, as per usual, the imitable, the one person that cannot be compared. Yassine, how you doing, mate?
I don't know what that
And we
means.
have Mohammed. Always lovely to have you, mate. Jibril and Mohammed, aka the only guy from Manchester we actually like around here.
Trust me.
I'm gonna be honest with you, though. Yassine and Musa are a little bit played down.
See, I knew you were saying something bad before.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to talk.
I said trust for everyone.
It's mad. It's free for all.
Say no more. Say no more.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Alright, so today, inshallah, we wanna have a little chat about being role models and inspiring the next generation of leaders. Yeah?
Definitely.
How is that gonna happen? How do we go about inspiring young people? Do you know what I mean? Because when you look at our generation, people who grew up in the 90s and stuff, we didn't really have a lot of people to look up to, whether it was in any field really. Do you know what I mean? There was a lack of representation, both in terms of kind of black people and more specifically kind of Africans and Africans from the East African region. Do you know what I mean? Because we have a particular culture and ethnicity. So we never really had that going on. Do you know what I mean? So moving forward now, how do you think that can change representation for the next generation of young leaders? Yes, and you want to take it forward?
Well, one of the things that's happening nowadays, and there's a new movement which I'm seeing like everywhere. It's all over the internet. A good example is the LeVar Ball guy. So he's creating another league alongside college basketball where young players can come. College basketball is for a bunch of white guys and some white institutions who don't give a shit about you. Let's be real, you get me? Mm-hmm. This guy's creating a league now where you're getting paid $4,000 a month minimum. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a black-owned thing. So now we've got this new wave of people doing things and other people supporting them. You know, that's the big thing that's been missing for a while. It's been people actually supporting and jumping onto your bandwagon. Instead of giving your money to the guy that was calling you a nigger 10 years ago, let's give it to the guys that are doing things and doing things for us. You know, people like Wada Network, everyone on YouTube. And that's how representation is changing, you know, because of the fact that people are pushing out content and other people are supporting it and people are lifting each other up. It's literally beautiful to see. I think we're entering a new era, to be honest.
Yeah, I want to add something as well. I feel like media in general is controlled and is never for our interests. So the little things that we have, our social medias, our YouTube accounts, or whatever, we should take advantage of those and actually use them to our benefit. And it doesn't matter what skill you have or what you're trying to promote. Just push your content out there and show people that, you know, you're coming from the same background as the person who's viewing the video or viewing the content, and show them that you have potential to do the same. So it's our responsibility, even you can say, to use these opportunities and then actually show that it can be done.
Yo, sorry to interrupt as well. This thing just came out about the guys that started Vice, yeah? They're supposed to be like white supremacists, yeah? So a lot of these companies that even seem to be black friendly are only doing it.
To those people that don't know what Vice is, do you mind telling me?
So Vice is like a media channel, and they're kind of indie in the sense that they're not as mainstream as everyone else, and they've had great success over the last 5 or 10 years. A lot of the ways in which they've been doing that is by putting on people like grime artists, black culture in general, people like Fader as well. They're all in that kind of same boat. And what's come out now is the guy that co-founded it, okay, he used to be a white supremacist. You look back at articles they did 2 years ago, and they're making jokes about people starving in Somalia and things like that, you know? These people don't actually like us, so why are we supporting them? Why are we giving them money? Why don't we do our own thing, you know? And that goes down to influencing the next generation. It's the best way in which to do that is to have a healthy platform, people that are looking out for your interests specifically, you know? People that are trying to raise your kids in the same way that you are. That's what we're trying to do. Don't even know where I'm going with this, but you get the point.
No, listen, that's a great point. Do you think that moving forward with regards to this, I mean, it's really important to have platforms that facilitate access for young people, whatever their chosen professions or passions or so on and so forth. Do you think it's important for there to be a change of mindset moving forward? Do you think that within ethnic minority communities that there's a certain mindset that is pulling people back or not allowing them to achieve the maximum potential?
There's a can't mindset, which is changing nowadays, but there's a can't mindset. How can I fight against Nike? How can I fight against Reebok? You get me? There's this thing where, how is someone like me doing this? And if someone else is doing it, instead of, right, I'm going to go and help him and do it big, oh, no, I'm going to hate on him instead, you know? Oh, how's Mohammed that I used to go to school with, starting a YouTube channel? Why is he doing that? I could have done that. Oh, he's making money now. Now I'm gonna hate on him. But nowadays it's changed completely. It's gone from that to, you know what? Let me back it for them. You know, these guys are looking out for our interests instead of backing Fader and Vice and all these. That we can do that. So
I was just gonna add to that. I think for us especially because we've not been here long enough, especially people from East Africa in the West, maybe the last 20 years. So for someone like yourself, or someone else to start a new thing, it's very easy for people to sort of naturally move away from it because whatever we're doing is something new. We're bringing something out new. And the mindset with a lot of people, especially the older generation, is that they don't trust something new. So that's why they don't invest time or money into like buying your brands or watching your YouTube video. But with the younger generation, like you said, I see a lot of change. I see people are more open-minded and willing to seek out alternatives. You know, 5-6 years ago, if you was even maybe 5 to 6 years ago, if you see someone walking outside, you'll notice what they're wearing. You'd notice brands. But nowadays, a lot of people are just buying things from like independent companies. So you don't even know brands is not a big thing I see nowadays.
even the fact that people are watching this right now on WADA, it means that you've paid however much it is to subscribe every single month to go and see this kind of stuff. You know, that means that you guys are actively taking part in building people like yourselves up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's what's important.
And I feel like I want to add to that. I feel like over the last, I don't know, man, this has probably started since colonization, but there's the West, or basically the powers that have been oppressing Eastern African Europeans, East Africans, or Africans in general. They made you like, there's like a sense of self-hate. There's like, oh, this white man can do it. He's able to do it, but we can't. We need to be able to change that mindset. And you need to be able, and like AK said, Somalis won't, or Africans in general, they won't exactly, they want to see someone else do it first. There has to be a pioneer. Oh, he's done it. Or he's gone all the way to flipping Russia, and he studied and he became a doctor. Oh, then I'll send my kids after him. Do you see where I'm coming from? They won't do it unless there's someone else has done it before. Do you see where I'm coming from? And you gotta take initiative. You gotta be brave. You gotta take, and then after that you can do it. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
Totally,
great
man.
point.
Yeah.
Mo, what do you think?
I just wanted to add that basically we've got this issue where we don't trust each other as well, and they need to overcome that, because you're trusting some random big company and supporting it blindly, not knowing what they do or what they believe in, and because their stuff has been out for longer and they've got that solid foundation down, they can do things like that. But if we don't support these small coming brands, or like a young girl that's upcoming and starting her own hijab line or her cream or products or whatever it is, people would rather trust something else that some next person is bringing out than the local Somali girl that they knew or grew up with. And they'll gladly buy their products and be happy about it because this is quality or whatever. I just want to say that, you need to give your people a chance and help them, and slowly this will lead to our whole nation actually improving itself, because this stuff are skills that can be taken back home, and then that can be applied there, and that will help our economy and everything else that it comes with it. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, like absolutely what he's saying. People don't see people like you to be responsible. If you walk into a doctor and it's another black guy, for example, or a Somali guy, he doesn't know Ahmed, he doesn't know anything. You know what I'm saying? If you go into a Somali-owned shop, all of a sudden you want a discount. But if you go to Marks and Spencer's, you'd never dream of asking for one. But it's just people. Like, I work in a corporate company, yeah? The people that are working there, they're just people, like everyone else. Nike is run by people, yeah? So it just depends on which people you want to be supporting. Why not support the guys that could use the extra quid, where that £2 discount that you're asking for would actually go a long way, instead of paying 5 times the price of the production cost of a pair of Nikes, you know? Yeah, that's what I have to say.
That's a great point. See, the thing is, what's really interesting is that people complain a lot about the influence of large corporations, the fact that these companies are faceless brands that don't care about the consumer and capitalize on the consumer. Yeah, but they people persist in their loyalty to them because it's cheaper. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to supporting the local company or the local individuals, where costs might be a little bit higher in the beginning, but in the long run, it's better for you, it's better for the community, it's better for everyone involved. And like a lot of you have said now, there seems to be an inherent distrust for our own people when it comes to supporting them in whatever they're doing. It could be the disruptive influence, the fact that it's something new, and we're just scared of something new. But there seems to be a certain mindset where, there isn't that unconditional support for our people doing the things that need to be done. Do you know what I mean? Yassine, you said that you felt that was something of the past, and that it's now changed. Do you guys agree with that? Do you think that it's completely changed, or that it's changing, that there are positive markers, but it's still a problem? What do you guys think?
I think it's changing. It hasn't completely changed. You'll still see there are a lot of cases where there's people low key hating, there's people low key not appreciating what you're doing, and but then at the same time, what I do see, for example, now, I do admire, for example, whenever I see these women, white women especially, when they do modest fashion and MUAs, and they empower each other. Do you know what I mean? They publicly give each other support. And I admire that, to be honest. You know what I mean? I don't know. I haven't seen that much with guys, especially, but I've heard a lot of back talk saying, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, these men are doing YouTube. What they've been talking about. I don't want to hear what their opinions. They keep saying the same thing again and again. Like, instead of saying that, why can't you be like, all right, they're actually trying to do something positive. So, to answer Salman's point of view, there are some people that are changing and trying to help people out, but at the same time, we still got ways to go.
Okay.
100%. It goes back to the point that I made before. People are scared of change, right? People would rather stick to something that they know. But I think in time, I'm with you on what you said, Jabril, that it's changing. It's not completely changed. Mindset of people doesn't necessarily change quick. But the more that we see it out there, for example, like you were saying before, on social media, I see a lot of people like makeup artists or fashion, people that do fashion, or even people like Mo Farah, giving out good examples and leading by example, and things like that empower our people essentially, and then the younger people will just follow on. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
I want to add on to that as well. Like people like Mo Farah, or Somalis in general that have reached high places. I've noticed, strangely, like they will be doing amazing things, winning double gold back to back, but they do one small thing that's a bit meh, and they just capitalize on it. And they're like, oh, he done this, or, you know what I mean, he's bending the knee from front of the queen. And it's a bit like, all right, cool, I see you're coming from, but why focus on that small thing that he did and cancel everything?
He's done literal things that no other British person has
See where I'm coming from.
But you're focusing on something like that, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
So you know what he's doing for the... What he's doing for
I don't know. I disagree a little bit with that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. What I'd argue is that Mo Farah he's done amazing things, and I do rate the guy, but he did it for Britain.
Okay.
You get me? That's who he did it for.
Okay.
He's not really representing Somalis.
Okay.
In the sense of like in front of
the media,
really and truly, really and truly, like on the world stage, when you see him, you associate him you think of him as a British person. You know, Amir Khan for the cheek will have like a Pakistani flag here and there. You know what I mean? He'll be flaunting it and doing things to better his community. Yo, maybe I'm being unfair on the guy, but I haven't seen that side of him. Yeah. You know, obviously it's not something that he has to do. Yeah. That that's his personal business and his personal choice. Yeah. But I don't think he's a good example of someone who's doing things for Somalis. basically.
I will say-
I disagree. I'm just gonna tell you why I disagree. 2 points. First of all, it's true that he on the international stage in terms of running, he represents Britain. Yeah, but the very fact that he is in the public eye, yeah, standing there as a British Somali, okay, you can change up how you want, Somali, British Somali, whatever it is, yeah. The fact that him as a black face is standing there representing Britain, that in itself has huge ramifications within British society. Let me finish firstly. And second of all, he represents Britain, but he doesn't shy away from his Somali roots. He's never shied away from it. He's always spoken about in mainstream media, and he's gone to events, I know, but he speaks about his roots. He speaks about his legacy, and he's proud of it.
Right.
So the very
Typical
fact that-
Somali guy on Snapchat.
let me-
He listens to Somali music in his car.
Jamie,
Let
these
me
things
tell
are
you.
important.
Let me
You
tell
know,
you
what
what I'd
do you
see.
expect him to
Listen,
do?
let me tell you what I'd see as someone that I'd want to rep, that would rep for Somalia for me. Yeah, and this is not something that everyone needs to do. By the way, it's more than his. You know what I mean? Like what he feels
Yeah, it's
is fine.
prerogative
Yeah.
to do,
However,
what he wants.
someone that reps for Somalia for me would be somebody that's there in the community all the time. That's there about harder, helping people out, doing things,
That's just
starting
one way of
business.
doing
Wait,
it.
sure. Putting people on. He's got an amazing, amazing platform and an amazing position to be doing things now, yeah. And for someone to say, right, this guy's actually riding out for us, yeah, I wouldn't say that he's actually riding out for us.
We've yet to
because-
see that though.
Yeah, we have yet to see that. So it's
Yeah,
kind
he's
of.
focused on his career. Do you know what I mean?
You
You're
see-
listening, the thing is, you have to appreciate or listen that there's different ways of doing it. Do you know what I mean? And again, bro, the fact that him just existing in that arena, just existing,
He's an
even if he doesn't-
inspiration to
he's an
all
insp-
these
that's
other kids that
inspirational,
can
bro. Do you
become
know what I mean?
runners.
No,
That's
he's an
inspirational.
inspiration to all the kids that can be runners. But we're
Okay,
not
okay,
talking kids in general. We're talking
Quickly, let me
Somalis.
just
Go
say
on.
one thing.
No,
What-
we're talking
what-
about Somali kids.
One second.
When I say kids,
Let him talk.
Let me
Let him
drop
talk. Let
this
him
thing.
talk.
No, also,
I'll come
I'm
back.
just gonna add to that. You only see of him what you see on the media. Do you know what I mean? So if he did something for England, obviously British media will report that. You don't know what he did for Somalia. He could have been gone in Somalia a week ago and did something, but you wouldn't know about that because it wouldn't get reported on because it's nothing to do with Britain. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then that's why we live in an age of social media. We live in an age of YouTube. Like you can do that. You don't need people to be publicizing what you're doing anymore. If you really, really want to be doing that, you can be putting it out there yourself. Yeah, you can be putting it on your Snapchat. You can be. If you want to push a narrative, a brilliant example is Muhammad Ali. If you want to be pushing a narrative, yeah, no matter who's trying to censor you, you're gonna get that out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to this guy to live how he wants. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't knock him in it for in any way. I'm not sending him. I'm not sending
No,
him.
listen.
But when it comes to Somali role models and people that are doing it for Somalia, I think there's people that have done more, innit? And they are trying to do more.
No, listen, there are a lot of people doing things, but the thing is, again, 'cause listen, the point is, one of the biggest problems we have is an issue of representation at the highest level. Do you know what I mean? When you just see, again, bro, when you just see someone like that existing, and not only existing in that stage, and accomplishing things that, listen, not black people, British people haven't accomplished, just regardless of color. Do you know what I mean? That in itself is a huge inspiration. That tells young people that, listen, I look like that person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That person looks like he's got the same funny name like me. Do you know what I mean? And he's accomplishing everything he's accomplished.
But I'd
And
say
that
that's
in
a
itself
byproduct.
is- Huh?
I'd say that's a byproduct. That's not something that he's pushing. That's not something that he's.
Well, you don't know that though. 100%.
It's a
On
byproduct.
that point, we've run out of time. An excellent, stimulating conversation. If you guys did enjoy that, please do engage with us on all our platforms. Thanks to WADA for hosting us. This is a wonderful platform. This is something that's really going to change the narrative, disruptive element within the media landscape. Thanks again for all of our guests and our regular folks. And on that point, guys, adios.